What are 5 classy habits that you can incorporate in your business marketing on a weekly basis? I'll answer that in this video. Hi, I'm Chelsea from digitalreinvention.io, and in this video, I want to cover 5 classy and elegant habits that you can incorporate on a weekly basis in your business marketing. Marketing can sometimes have a bad rap. It can sometimes feel like this thing where if you're out there putting yourself out in the world, maybe you feel like you're a car salesman sort of energy or something, and it feels icky to you. Or if you're a business and you just hire out your marketing, maybe it's something you just don't really, think about too much. You don't really own it. You don't really get into it because it just doesn't feel, it kind of feels schmarmy or something. Well, marketing certainly can feel that way. Absolutely. We can all think of many, many examples of just schmarmy, icky marketing however, when done with elegance and class, there's subtleties to marketing that is so powerful that it can create loyalty and recognition from the people that you truly want to do business with. And that's what I want to cover in this video. So number 1, this comes from Jim Rohn, actually one of my favorite authors. And Jim Rohn says one of the things to always be doing is thinking about expanding your associations. And what does expand your associations mean? So it's about thinking back to anyone you know, people you might have met at a conference, people that you maybe went to college with, people you might have worked with at another position, anyone you can think of that you've been in contact with. Start there. Think about who haven't you talked to in the last 3, 4, 5, 10 years? Who haven't you talked to, especially that you know was kind of interesting the last time you were around them? Or maybe you met them at a conference and they really seemed like they were organized, they had their stuff together, and you knew they were someone that was probably going to be very successful no matter what they did in life. That's a person you probably want to associate with, right? So you can start by thinking of anyone in your past that you've been in contact with that might be up to something interesting that you haven't reached out to, and just reach out to them and say hi. It doesn't have to be anything where you're trying to get something or a tit for tat kind of exchange. It's just to say hi. And that often will lead to a conversation. And many times that conversation is going to go something like this, like, hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good. What have you been up to? Well, blah, blah, blah. Or what are you doing these days? And it's naturally going to flow into conversation about probably work and your business. And you never know where those conversations might lead. Even if that person isn't in a position to need your services or your products or anything like that, they might come across someone in the coming weeks or months where that person that they're talking with is looking for the types of services or products that you provide. And they think of you and they refer you. It's a wonderful way to generate referrals in a very organic, natural rhythm on a weekly basis. Always just be reaching out to people you haven't talked to. And it's not like having a list of 20 people that you call every week. It's just thinking of, say 2 to 5 people every week that you can reach out to. And it might be a quick text message, but the more personal you can make it, the better. So instead of a text, maybe send a voice memo or send a voice recording. Instead of an email, maybe record a quick little video and put that in an email or text it or whatever's appropriate for the level of communication. But the more personal you can make it, the better. The second classy and elegant habit you can incorporate in a weekly basis in your business marketing is sending thank yous. Thank yous are one of those classy and elegant habits that often gets forgotten. And we're so used to digital media and texting and messaging each other that we don't often do things like sending a physical thank you card or writing an actual note and putting it in a card and mailing it to someone or sending someone some flowers. Just being able to always be in the habit of thinking, who can you thank this week? Maybe it's a client that's been with you for years and you haven't really reached out to say thanks. Maybe it's a prospect that you talked to last week and you just had a really good conversation and you learned something from that conversation. So you send them a little thank you in the mail. Maybe it's someone that's referred you business over the years and you haven't taken them out to lunch recently. So you reach out and invite them to lunch as a thank you. Sending thank yous are elegant, they're graceful, and it is a way to add to your business marketing because it's getting you in a new conversation with someone and it's coming from a space of goodwill, with authentic grace, and it inspires conversations that are starting out in a completely different space when you're coming from gratitude and you're having a conversation and someone's receiving your gratitude and then you start talking. Well, naturally, That's such a good vibe. That could lead to all sorts of things. Maybe not in the moment that you send the thank you or you take someone out to lunch, but down the road, that person's going to think back and remember you and have good thoughts about you because you're a cool person. You are graceful, you're elegant, and you send thank yous. Whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're in a B2B market and you're a manufacturer, maybe you send a thank you to one of your best vendors, and you can do it every single week. You can always think of somebody you can thank. The third elegant and classy habit you can incorporate in your business marketing on a weekly basis is generating useful content. And what I mean by useful certainly is creating content that is valuable. And the way you can do that so that it truly is valuable and it's not just some spam article that you put in your blog in hopes of helping your SEO or getting likes or shares in social media, a way to create elegant, classy, and useful content is to think about one person that you could help with some sort of information you could share. Maybe it's a prospect, someone you'd like to work with in the future. Maybe it's a client where you'd like to do a little more business with them and you could expand your services in a certain way by sharing some kind of knowledge or tip or an article you've read. That's a way to really add some power to your marketing. Ideally, you think of one person that likely would do business with you if you're helping them out, right? So if I think on a weekly basis of which one of my clients, when I know what they're up to and what their goals are, is there something I might have learned in the last week that might be useful for what they're up to? Is there something I could research and learn about and then share that information with them? Creating useful content for a particular person, naturally that's going to flow out and be useful for others probably too. I'll get to that on step forward. Maybe it's an email that you write. Maybe you write out some steps for what they need. Or maybe you think about someone that you'd like to work with and maybe there's something that you know could help them and in their business and just say, hey, I came across this thing in the last week and I thought it might be useful to you because of X, Y, and Z. Just a gift of useful content for this one person that you're thinking of. That can add so much value to their life, but that can go in places you can't even imagine. They might share that with someone. They might just say, thanks, that's awesome. Like, thank you for just taking the time to share that with me. What else do you know? Tell me more. And then they want to maybe engage with you or hire you or work with you. But when you're starting out giving something really useful like that, naturally someone's going to want more of you, right? And more of your knowledge, more of your services. The fourth elegant habit then is to take maybe that content that you created for that one person that was specific to them and then think about how to optimize it. So the fourth weekly habit then will be optimizing that content. So maybe the content was personal to that person and you made a video for them and you said their name or something, so you can't quite share that video with the world. But now you've created this specific useful thing and you shared it with them. Can you then optimize that and repurpose it? Maybe make another video that's slightly more generic, but it's specific, right? Because it was specific to that person's needs, so that it's a specific, useful piece of content. And you make a quick video then that you can share on your YouTube channel or post on your company's website or share with your other customers in an email. Say you have a customer base and a CRM that has many of your contacts, and maybe that video would be useful for 30% of the people in your contact list. Great, put it in an email and send it out to those people just as a free will, good vibe, good content kind of thing. That's a great way to create content on a weekly basis because content is one of the biggest parts of marketing these days, especially online. The fifth weekly habit that's classy and elegant for your business marketing is to delegate. So you've thought of this content, you've created it and sent it to one person, you've then optimized and maybe created the next piece of content that's sort of taken from that first piece and it's made more generic so you can post it on social media, on your website, or share it in email to an individual or to a list of people. You've done that part. Now, the fifth habit is to delegate. So you are the person or your team or your company. You're the one that's the creator that holds the knowledge and the value. So you need to be creating that content and that marketing in that way because you have the relationships, you have that expertise. But you don't need to be publishing it, editing it, formatting it, any of that. That can all be delegated. If you make a video, like a quick video on your iPhone or on your computer or whatever, great, record the video, done. Don't do anything else. Outsource the editing of that. Have somebody else trim it up, make it look great, put some titles on it, add some call outs, and then publish it to your YouTube. You can find people, dozens, hundreds of thousands of people that are happy to help you with this kind of thing. That can be, your turnaround time can be just really within a day. And it's just amazing what's out there these days if you just start to look for support and help. So don't get stuck in the habit of doing all of that yourself. You're the creator, you're the expert, you're the one that needs to be creating the initial content. But from that point on, it can leave your ball court and somebody else can take that ball and run with it. So that's my 5th habit and recommendation to you. Thanks for watching my 5 weekly classy and elegant business marketing tips. I'm Chelsea from digitalreinvention.io, and I'll see you next time.